Welcome everybody. Beautiful Friday day, afternoon. Looks like we're here to honor our wonderful chief, Chief Russ Whelan, somebody that's been very close to me for the last 7 years sitting here on this council. We never knew whether we was going to get along or not from time to time, but it was definitely, it's been an enjoyment. Now he's my brother, not just a chief of police and just a guy that serves our town of Sellersburg. It's a Distinguished Honor Award Day, like I said, for Chief Russ Whelan. I'd like to welcome every one of you all here. I appreciate all the other service people in our police department, our surrounding chiefs and sheriffs and everybody else that's a part of here. Let's see, I'd like to recognize Lane Villallo, Indiana Association of Chiefs of Police. And then we'll have Indiana Senator Garten and Chief Russ Whelan, and then some additional comments and everything after that. So I'll start off right here with Lane and let you come right on up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Lane Villallo, and I'm the Executive Director for the Indiana Association of Chiefs of Police. And I just want to, number one, I'm pleased to be here. Thank you for your hospitality, but I want to thank Chief Whelan for his leadership over the past year. I'm sure in the beginning of 2020, when we were at the Midwinter Conference and he was taking over as president, we had no idea what this year would have in store. And despite all of the challenges of 2020, Chief Whelan has stepped up to the plate and provided leadership to our law enforcement community, and we really appreciate all of his work and his dedication to the profession. So, Chief Whelan, thank you for your leadership, thank you for your time, and thank you for your friendship.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody for coming today. There's never been a time that I can remember that's been more important to celebrate our brothers and sisters in law enforcement. And the fact that each one of you took some time to be here today says a lot about your character. It says a lot about what you think about a man that we're here to celebrate, Chief Russ Whelan. Now, Chief, the story that I was told was that 29 years ago you started out as a jailer in Harrison County. You wore your welcome out there pretty quick, and I think you had about a half a tank of gas and found your way to Sellersburg, I think is the version that I heard. And that's accurate. And I believe the story goes that once here in Sellersburg, you really deepened your roots, not just in law enforcement, but in leadership. And the community embraced you and embraced your personality and everything you stood for, which I also heard was a little painful at times. But nonetheless, here we are. A distinguished life of service, a man of character, and a heart that helped people. And, it goes without saying that this community is going to miss you. And we know you're not going anywhere because Zarnecki's tried to get rid of you and he keeps saying you're coming back. All right? But the reality is there's going to be a hole, and that's a compliment, all right? And so I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with all of you toward a better community. But, Chief, I want to thank you personally for your 29 years of service to Indiana, all right? Excuse me. It's so important that we celebrate people like you. I don't know of a time that law enforcement has ever been under attack more than now. And I believe in this great American experiment because of men and women just like you. Because of people who run towards danger to help people that they probably have never even met in their entire life, but simply because it's the right thing to do. And so for that, we want to honor you today. And if you would, just join me in giving Chief Whelan a round of applause. And so with that, I have been given the distinct honor of recognizing you with the Distinguished Hoosier Award. And this award is given at the discretion of Governor Eric Holcomb to highlight Hoosiers who have served their community admirably. And so it simply says, Office of the Governor, Eric J. Holcomb. To all to whom these presents may come, greetings. Whereas some individuals distinguish themselves through significant contributions to their communities. Whereas the qualities and characteristics of such individuals reflect the best of the great state of Indiana. Whereas the actions of these individuals endear them in the hearts and minds of all Hoosiers. And whereas the below named individual is such a person who has earned the respect and admiration of Hoosiers across the state and is worthy to join the ranks of those so honored. Now, therefore, I, Eric J. Holcomb, Governor of the state of Indiana, do hereby declare and appoint Chief William R. Whelan as a Distinguished Hoosier, in testimony whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the great seal of the state of Indiana, done this 11th day of January in the year of 2021. Eric J. Holcomb. Chief.
Taking off a mask because everybody that knows me knows I don't like those. Very seldom, but most of the people in here know me, am I at a loss for words. But this is one of those times. When I found out last week that I was getting this, again, most of you know me, I spent the next 3 or 4 days, and the senator can even tell you, trying to derail this presentation in this form and fashion, because that's just not me. And if you look around, obviously I failed. But I do appreciate everyone's, showing up and sharing this with me today. It is an honor. I'm not leaving. It feels like I should say, okay, at the end of this I'm leaving, but I'm not. I still have several more years, at least hopefully, with the help of the council. But again, thank you all. I'm truly humbled, and I appreciate you all sharing this with me today. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Senator Garten for taking the time out to come down today, as well as the men and women from the Sellersburg Police Department, adjoining local agencies, and Clark County 911 representatives that are here to celebrate Chief Whelan. It just goes to show in a small community such as Sellersburg that people do fantastic things that are recognized statewide, and that shouldn't go unnoticed. Chief Whelan's been here for a long time. This is a very safe community, thanks to his efforts on a daily basis, as long as the efforts with the men and women from our police department. They work very hard day in and day out to keep our community safe, and this is a fantastic time to celebrate a chief that has dedicated his life to this town of Sellersburg that most of us call home. So I couldn't be more proud as a District 1 councilman to recognize the chief. I don't speak for all the council, but it's safe to say that they all feel the same way that I do, that he does a fantastic job with his agency, as well as his partnerships with local agencies that surround the city of Sellersburg. We can't do this just alone as one town, and building partnerships with other communities to make our community safe. I think the chief has done a fantastic job. Other than that, again, thank you. I want to thank the chiefs that came out today that represented other agencies and their membership as well. And that's what law enforcement is, as the senator mentioned earlier. It's a brother and sisterhood of people who every day strive to protect and serve others. And that's our life commitment. That's our profession that we chose. And this is just another shining moment for the town of Sellersburg to be celebrated statewide. So thank you all for coming.